Now, one of the country's biggest adult social care providers has told BBC North West Tonight that the government's budget changes will see companies handing back contracts, causing widespread upheaval. The charity, which is based here, says that increases in national insurance contributions and the minimum wage will cost them millions, and ultimately those who suffer will be among the most vulnerable in society. As our health correspondent Jill Dummigan now explains.
Tasif's known as something of a demon on the pool table. When he's not honing his skills here, he's out at an impressive variety of sports and activities.
I like, mostly football and also like swimming now. Going places like bowling and sometimes in the summer doing gardening. Here we are.
Tasif lives in supported accommodation with 5 other adults, all with some degree of learning disability or autism or complex care needs, all helped by care workers like Chantel, who's done this job for more than 20 years.
I love seeing him learning new things. I love seeing all of them. I go home with great satisfaction, that I've been a part of that, to support them with that.
But while the job's rewarding, the pay is less so, because the charity's dependent for funding on what the council will pay for each resident.
The charity, they're so helpful, but places like the NHS, they get paid a lot more than what we do. So then sometimes people, because they find that working there, they'll get more money. So then they have to decide then what's going to be better, and they leave.
The new budget will see minimum wages rise. This charity pays above that, but it's still going to have an impact. And changes to employer national insurance will see them paying much more there too. Tasif's one of 3,500 people supported by this charity. It's one of the biggest for social care in the country, and it employs around 6,000 people like Chantel. So the government's new changes are going to have a huge impact here. The charity's estimating a cost of £12 million, which they say they'll struggle to find.
We've made a deficit over the last few years, and part of that is planned, that we wanted to invest in pay for all of our colleagues, but a lot of it is just because we are generally underfunded.
This year they were on course to make a surplus, but they say that's now looking unlikely.
I mean, across the sector there's an enormous worry. We're a large charity, we have the benefit of being reasonably resilient. Lots of providers don't have huge reserves, they don't have a lot of cash sat on their balance sheet that they can use as a rainy day fund. All of that has already been spent, so I think this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back for significant numbers.
The government's handing the council £600 million for social care, but some analysts say that's nowhere near enough to pay for the increased costs for charities like this. Jim Kane says funding needs to be addressed as a priority.
That might be by changing things through the spending review. It might be by giving social care providers dispensations against national insurance. I'm not really sure what the answer is, but the first step is to actually have a conversation about it, and for too long politicians have shied away from having that honest conversation.
The government says they've inherited a social care system in crisis. They're determined to tackle the challenges and build a national care service so everyone can access the high quality care they deserve. Jill Dummigan, BBC North West Tonight.